Hey guys, it's Mr. Eason with some help for partial quotients for division. If you got to join our Zoom meetings yesterday, we worked on this strategy a few times, and if you didn't get to catch it or you just want to get some extra practice, I'm making a video for everybody. So on the next screen, I've got some base 10 blocks, and I'm going to use those to kind of help explain the strategy, and then on the screen after that, we're going to just do one without the base 10 blocks. So hopefully this will help you guys out. We're going to be solving 52 divided by 4, and so I just wanted to model this with some base 10 blocks and then the way we've been doing it in our Zoom meeting yesterday. So we have our 52 base 10 blocks out, and we're splitting them up into 4 groups. First thing I was thinking is we would give each of the groups a 10 stick, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40 of my 52 things given out. So the next thing I'm going to do is, if I'm recording that on my algorithm over here, on the side I'm going to write 4 times 10. And 4 times 10 is 40, so I'm going to subtract that off, and I have 12 left. And what you can see here is that the 12 that I have left over here is the same 12 that I have left over here. And this 40 right here in my equation is the same as this 40 that is that's already been split up. Okay, so the next thing I do is I see what else I can give out. I cannot give out a 10 stick to each thing, and so I'm going to take my 10 stick, I'm going to split it up into 12 ones, and then what I've got is I can share my ones out to each group. I can share them out one at a time, like such, or I can know that since I had 12 and I could split them into 4 groups, that 3 are going to go in each group. And so I'm going to continue dragging the rest of my ones into each of the groups. And so I have 52 divided by 4. You can see that in each of my groups I have 13 base 10 blocks. And so over here on my model, you're thinking about how many 4s are in 12, or 4 times what number equals 12. And so we're going to write out 4 times 3. And that equals 12, and so I can subtract that off, and I have nothing left to give out. Just like over here, I have nothing left to give out, and so my answer in my model, or the answer in my model comes from counting the base 10 blocks. The answer in my equation comes from counting what I multiplied 4 by. Multiplied 4 by 10 and 3, so my answer is 13. So for this one, we're going to practice by doing 128 divided by 8. We're not going to have the base 10 blocks. We're just going to be thinking of some ways we can do that with our multiplication equations. A couple of tips. I always think about what the number is times 10 to get us started. So in this case, it's 8. I'm thinking about 8 times 10. I usually do that because, number one, 10 facts are easy. Everybody knows them. And number two, they're usually pretty easy to subtract off of whatever number you're using. So I'm going to think about 8 times 10. I'm going to write it over here on the side. We know that's 80, so I'm going to subtract 80 off of my 128. 8 minus 0 is 8, and 12 minus 8 is 4. So we have 48 left. And the best part about this strategy is, if I don't know an 8 fact that equals 48, I just need to know any 8 fact that is less than 48, and I can work from there. So I'm going to pretend like I don't know an 8 fact that equals 48, but I do know that 8 times 5 is 40. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to subtract 40 from my 48. I have 8 left. Then I realize, oh hey, I know an 8 fact that equals 8. 8 times 1. So subtract my 8 off. I'm left with 0. And then I'm going to count what I multiplied 8 by for my answer. 10, a 5, and a 1. So my answer is 16. This has been Mr. Eason with some help. If you have any other questions, you can email me, you can get with me on Google Classroom, and we can talk about it. Hopefully this will help you guys out, and I will see you next time.